Every single square inch of this cart has been searched, and all of it has been tossed. And there is at least 4 additional hiding spots that you all didn't catch, including a false interior roof. The entire panel of the roof here can come down. It can be lowered. You see there's like a couple different planks. As it's like currently just leaned up against, you see the mechanism. It can be lowered to potentially stash a whole person, like in the top of the cart there. It can be raised or lowered, but there's a false roof, as well as a false trap door that is opened right now. The trap door just leads like underneath the cart, like a quick drop underneath the cart. It doesn't have like anything in it, but all of it has been completely opened and torn through and left in disarray.
Look, a space to hide a body.
Inara's was looking into the cart to make sure that Francis settled the dragonling comfortably, and then noticing this, and she goes, "Huh. Well, now we know at least how the people here will feel about us. Are any of the open compartments big enough to stash the dragon crate in?"
I mean, if you close the roof, you definitely could fit him in there pretty easily. Like the compartment between the real roof and the false roof. If you put that back up, you could stash him there, underneath the bed. But besides that, all the other hidey holes. Oh, you do there is in here. They're open. Those water barrels. You could empty one of those out and then put the top back on because it looks like a full barrel. That would also be potentially a hiding spot.
So she would make note of all these places just in case we do come across poachers on our journey. But she turns to Plato and Francis and goes, "Well, you called it. It's already been searched. Is it worth hiding him in one of those spots in case they come back?"
Well, assuming if they are very thorough at what they do, I don't think they will think twice about coming back and searching already foraged areas.
I mean, I do not think we can bring the dragon in with us. If we just leave him in the cart here and keep an eye on anyone going out, or maybe, like I said, we could leave someone here, send someone out here to keep watch. Obviously, they did not do that.
Unless we keep him covered and he is sleeping, and then no one would know that there is a dragon inside of this crate.
I do think we have a little time now that he is, I think, falling asleep.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem like this might is a place where we want to spend too long anyway. So let's go inside and see what's what.
It might be not in our best interest to spend time here, but I think we will need to take a long rest soon. That Naga fight really wore me out in terms of magical ability. And what time of day is it, by the way?
It's later in the day. The two suns floating in the sky, the orange of one, the gold of the other, reflecting against each other to form the sunset beginning above you.
Yes, and I owe Enka greatly, so I will be trying to acquire for her this drink that she would like me to procure.
We can always stop in to take care of things and then come back and camp out here. We will not leave the little tantrum along for too long.
I'm still of the opinion that we should wait and get to know him better before we choose that name for him. But yes, I definitely want him close by when we do decide to rest, whether it's out here or in rooms in there somewhere. And she'll start heading towards the entrance.
Of course. I walk alongside her. To tell you the truth, in Perian it is not so uncommon to have names that you keep in your youth that you discard when you reach full age. In the Sleuth, we call it the right of self-determination. You have a name until you come of age, and then you are allowed to determine your own name and gender if you choose to.
Inara's actually looking really interested. She's listening closely, and when you say that, she goes, "That's so liberating."
I have found that to be the case, and that is all I am doing in the tradition of the little dragon. I will, of course, call him whatever you'd like. When you are they decide.
She beams at that. I appreciate that.
Now
But
let's
for
go
now,
find out.
let's go find the rest of our party.
Let's go find out about the piano.
Yeah, you all walk through these large wooden saloon-like double doors that swing open. Who walks through first?
Inara will walk in first, no problem.
Hell yeah. You walk in first and take in the scene. It's pretty bumpin'. There's quite a few people here. We'll go across the room real quick. There is some sort of game table with pieces on it that two people are playing. One tiefling woman and one human man are kind of actively engaged in some sort of competition on the table as they come into your view. On the right-hand side, as you walk into this kind of large space filled with this music, you do see three completely masked, almost like these crow masks without any features, with these white veils that seem to cover the rest of their body. Roll me a religion check, everybody.
I also wanted to say that I use Inara's entrance to sneak in behind her, and if it is low light in here at all, I would like to use the Skulka feat to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sherrilyn rolled a 15 on the religion check.
Francis rolled an 8.
15 for Plato.
Okay, so I think Sherrilyn... Wait, sorry, you said 14, Plato?
13.
13, okay. So Sherrilyn definitely recognizes this. Inara, what did you get?
For religion, 19.
Okay, so we have some different levels of information here. Sherrilyn, you recognize these folks. Some folks you've actually exiled before that have worn this exact garb. You've learned in your studies of different countries' ability to conduct war and different potential threats that there exists in all countries two different mainstream ways of worshiping the mother, and one of them is through witchcraft, specifically different arts and community that is grown. Your perspective, of course, is that they are evil sorceresses who work at nighttime, at least your previous perspective that you have learned, that work to undermine the greater good. These are definitely three witch mothers that seem to be gathered in the corner here, kind of softly looking at each other and discussing. They are the other mainstream worship that you also know, Sherrilyn, that isn't seen as a threat is the Hearth Mothers. Enka was a Hearth Mother of the Mother. Witch mothers and hearth mothers often congregate, but are seen as completely two different groups that work together. These three are witch mothers. Inara, within 19, you also recognize them as a witch mother, but you know one other thing as well, which is when witch mothers travel, one of them is the leader and speaks for the group. It just provides organization and makes it so they don't have to talk if they don't want to. That leader does not wear a veil and is seen as a public face amongst them. That person is absent here. So you put together with your religion check that these folks are probably waiting for their leader to return from somewhere or come here, as a congregation usually travels with a witch hat.
I would imagine Inara doesn't have that like negative connotation to them, like witch mothers versus hearth mothers, the way Sherrilyn would.
Yeah, your perspective is definitely that they are the best at creating poisons, reagents, utilizing the existing nature in places to create alchemy, as well as curses, hexes, but usually on behalf of good. They are primarily used in vengeance and righteousness, not outright evil in any way. Like it's known, a farmer might go and ask a witch mother for a blessing upon their land. That is something they do as well. But they might also ask for poison to kill off an infestation of locusts. But they are folk medicine people in mostly.
Okay. Oh, new friends.
She would approach the door and glancing inside, these are the first people that she would acknowledge, recognize, and you'd see her immediately backstep away from the doorframe and say, "Perhaps I should stay out here."
Francis would be the first, like, kind of like following Inara and Plato in and like see Sherrilyn kind of hesitate and be like, "Is everything all right, Sir Salden?"
Yes, I believe I may have happened upon these individuals before, potentially. Hard to tell when they wear masks.
And you fear as though they might act with hostile intent against you?
I would say that is a safe guess, based on several of our previous interactions with several different parties. But this one in particular, I think, may take especially issue with me.
Hearing this, Inara turns around. Are you Does any of your armor or anything you're wearing show that you still have, like, allegiance to your previous order?
The armor that she's wearing is very notably Medean armor. Like, it's very fancy armor. No other country would have armor that's this shiny or this emblematic. It's gold and silver, and she's got this very bright blue cloak on. Is unmistakable where she is from.
So Inara cocks her head, looking at you. She's studying you top to bottom, and then she goes, "Let me ask you this: if you had been, what is the word the Median people use when they exile? It's exile, right?
Just exile, yes, just exile.
I just want to make sure I wasn't stepping on any toes. When you exile someone, if you had been exiled, would you be allowed to keep your armor?
No, I suppose not.
Perhaps we could just create a backstory for you.
I'm not sure I'm fond of this suggestion, but go on.
I mean, we can't really say that you are of the same mindset that you had when we first met.
In this moment, I think she's remembering her back and forth with the Hierophant that she had just yesterday, I believe, and how she's essentially trying to play a ruse on him. And she's thinking, if I take off this armor and I really embrace this whole backstory thing, it would help me in this moment and maybe with some future interactions with non-Medean people. But if I was eventually to run into him or people associated with him, that would lead to more issues. Additionally, she's not very fond of taking off her armor in the first place, so she'll hold up a hand to stop you, Inara, and she'll say, I'm not very keen on going into a place with hostile parties not wearing my armor. I'm sure you understand.
I'm just saying we might need you. But if you wanted to stay by the carriage for now as backup, she will turn to look for Plato and then belatedly realize he's not there.
Hey, Sam! They're here! You hear an incredibly drunk Rourke shout from the other side of the room as he recognizes you.
Fantastic.
I very purposely skulked in behind Inara as she made her
He doesn't
entrance.
see you.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Inara is there. He finally had a perception check high enough to spot that Inara walked in. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to interrupt. You do see Leilani, Mezcal, and Rourke. All three of them are sat at a table, kind of surrounded by these fully armored guards that you recognize as friends, mercenaries of the Friend. All three of them are in handcuffs. However, their manacles are on the front, their hands aren't behind their back, and they all do have beverages in front of them, and they are seemingly being allowed to drink, but all three of them are cuffed as they all look in your direction as you walk in, Inara.
Oh, it's not a zip tie event?
So Inara would have been more focused. First, let me ask you this. Are they in the same direction as the Witch Mothers, or if she had been distracted by the Witch Mothers, she wouldn't have noticed them in her peripheral?
Completely different angles of the bar here.
Okay.
As you walked in.
So yeah, she was actually very focused on the Witch Mothers because I would imagine that anytime she runs across a group of them, she tends to try and interact in some way because they're a fountain of knowledge. But she jumps at the sound of Rourke's voice and turns around and then takes a deep breath at the sight of the manacles. Oh dear.
And I just want to real quick finish who else is in this room. There are 4 people that are working here, including one of them playing on the piano. They are large praying mantis threeking. So they have very long appendages. They very much look like humanoid praying mantises. And there are 4 of them currently working. 1 at the piano, 3 at the bar. You see a large vulture, just like a regular vulture, who is sitting at the middle of the bar, his beak deep in a glass. There's also a 10-foot large mushroom creature, it looks like, sitting next to a smaller mushroom creature that seem to be sharing some sort of conversation non-vocally. They just seem to be vibing. The other person who is immediately recognizable, who is standing right next to the table between Leilani, Mezcal, and Rourke, is a young tabaxi woman who's dressed exquisitely in a very, very fine silken dress. Her left arm is completely covered in this permanent tattoo paint that kind of paints her fur as like a mural, or like a tattoo, but in a tabaxi version. Francis, I'm gonna say you recognize the tattoo because it's something you have on your person. The silver chain wraps around her shoulder, and then ends in the sensor, as you see the sensor of the lever in tattoo form spread across her arm and end with brilliant light in color tattooed across her wrist and her hand, as her entire arm seems to be a mural of the artifact that you have on your person.
Just gonna keep that under my boob.
Inara, go ahead and give me a luck check. Just a d20 from Inara.
It's a 7, which you would think would be okay, but
Lucky 7.
Yeah. With a 7, you have not met this woman before, but you have heard of her. She's definitely made waves in Luxorian society as the youngest professor to ever receive tenure in Daryalakin. At age 12, she received professorship, an absolute child prodigy, and one of the brightest minds of this entire nation. She is known for teaching large seminars that are regularly attended. The one that you almost were there the day that she was giving a big one on the divine, which has been her pet project lately. She's asked for funding quite a few times from the council to explore the power of the divine more thoroughly. But her main specialty is agronomical sciences and co-living within nature. So her main inventions so far have been the water systems that are used throughout the capital city, to capture humidity in the air and turn it into fresh drinking water. There are many different inventions of hers that have been slowly incorporated into everyday life to make living in the desert easier, including suits that keep you cool and large indoor spaces. She contributed heavily to the architecture of the hanging gardens as well. In Daryalakin, and to make them more functional. She was part of a redesign lead. And her eyes are locked onto yours, Inara, as she is approaching you. You can tell by where she's standing that she's definitely... There are 3 mercenaries of the Friend, which again, just to reiterate, are absolutely top tier, very expensive mercenaries who, when they undergo a mission, magically eliminate their own identity to take on just the identity of somebody who works for their employee, aka their friend, until the mission is over. She has 3 of them that are currently sitting around the table that your compatriots are manacled at, as she stands and begins walking towards Inara.
Oh dear.
Inara calls back to Sherrilyn and she goes, "Stay close, just in case, but this might not be as bad as we..." Well, then she stops and looks at the group that is shackled. She goes, "Just stay close." And she'll motion to Francis to come with her. In a hushed voice, as we walk towards this tabaxi, she will explain to Francis, "This is someone very important in Luxorian circles. She's a widely respected professor, a scholar. We would do well to show her appropriate respect." And so she turns back and looks at Sherrilyn and goes, "Which is why this might be a good thing."
Yes, Sherrilyn has to think fast because she doesn't want to go in looking as she usually does, knowing who is in here. So she's going to unclip her cloak and leave it in a little pile that she shoves under this bench out front with her foot, and then she takes like it's like a white, like a cloth, like so like a tarp or something that was supposed to go over stuff that's left outside, and she instead wraps that around her like a poncho so it covers her breastplate stuff so she can go inside without looking too conspicuous.
Does she look too inconspicuous? Because I'm feeling like just a person in clunky armor with a tarp wrapped around them, just randomly walking in alone.
I mean, it makes more sense because you don't want sand whipping around and hitting your armor, so...
Sandblast in that armor. The more attention that my group is drawing to themselves at the door and walking through the door and being paid attention to, I would like to try and skulk along the way to see if I can take a seat sort of over here without being super duper noticed.
Yeah, I say you. I don't even need a roll from you. The witch mothers are looking amongst themselves, seemingly completely unbothered by your entrance. This intense game is still heating up as they seem to be placing more gold on the table, raising their own bets. And the mercenaries, as well as this professor and her allies, are looking straight towards your compatriots. So you can easily maneuver to that seated position without issue. The professor, the tabaxi, the young woman, is going to approach you, Inara, and then very gracefully kind of grab her dress and fall to one knee before you. She looks back to Leilani. I am so sorry I did not believe you. Inara Iskander, I recognize you. Okay, I apologize. She looks a little embarrassed, and she goes to kiss your hand.
Hmm.
Francis is behind Inara, like kind of looking over her shoulder, and then like whispers
Just,
to Inara, "Are we the ones supposed to be paying respect to her?"
well, I didn't know she would recognize me. She whispers back as she offers her hand, because I want to say, considering her position, this is something that would potentially happen often at court, so it doesn't phase her. But she would then help the professor up to her feet, not
Yeah,
wanting her to stay in that position.
she grabs your hand like with her hand like underneath it and like holds onto your paw, like tucks her paw underneath yours and kisses, and then uses the grip to stand up to her full height. She's much shorter than you are. She's like 5'4" at her full height. And she kind of has to look up a little bit. I am so sorry. I am Professor Octa Serene. It's a little ridiculous to you. You knew her name. It's
Yeah. She
but
smiles at her and goes, You need no introduction. You are known far and wide."
I thank you. My goal is just to make the world a better place for all of us. I, there's just one really big issue, you see. I was on my way to Perian, to Netta's rally. I'm to speak there in defense of anointing the hero as a new divine. I have prepared my logical arguments, but unfortunately, we have received word that the most important artifact of our collection, sorry, as she looks back towards the other professors, has been stolen by a group known as the Turgi. We know you're familiar with the Turgi because you have their cut.
Yes, we encountered them on our travels. It was an unfortunate meeting, but we were able to make it out.
She killed two of them, Leilani yells.
Inara sort of like leans to the left.
You see her hands go to her mouth as she like covers it. Sorry, they're on the effect of a special brew. They were hesitant to talk. Had to loosen some lips. She smiles to you.
Inara's smile cools down from genuinely like warm and welcoming to more of what her mother had taught her as etiquette in court. And goes, "Well, now that you've confirmed that they were telling the truth about their identity, I would like them unshackled and returned to me.
Certainly.
If they committed any harm, I will make up for it, of course."
No, of course, committed no harm whatsoever. They tried to prevent us from searching the cart, but we were able to restrain them and search the cart, so it wasn't really a problem. The main concern really is the artifact that your friend has on his hip.
She turns to look at Francis. What was the artifact again that we gave you?
The sensor.
Was it the
The
sensor?
censer, the one she has the tattoo of. It's like if someone had a tattoo of Excalibur
yeah.
and a guy wielding Excalibur came
Right.
into the bar.
I see. Well, let me introduce you. This is Sir Francis Dolan, a priest of the lost.
She has to hold a hand up to you for a second. You watch as like her eyes go wild as she's like recalculating a ton of mental math as you say that name. Whatever her previous thought was or position about what was going on here, you say that, and you watch like her eyes go blank for a second as she holds up her hand, as she's like obviously processing a lot by that
Watching
statement.
her thoughts just seem to rush through her brain as she tries to recalculate and recalibrate her position. Inara smiles widely and goes, "I'm glad to see that you are fully aware of the positions of other countries."
Her eyes turn from you and lock onto Francis. Have you been able to get it to light up?
Um, I thought that was the whole point of a sense. So yes, I have been able to.
It's been over 100 years. Was it your blood? She, like, almost like a mad scientist, has, like, rushed over to Francis. Did you bleed on it?
No, I just had it in my hand.
Show me.
Oh,
Inara steps in between them, and she tries to gently push her back a little bit. Maybe we should stay aware of our surroundings.
You see a deep fanaticism spread over her, like you in your lab with the most important ingredients. Like, this is something else, and like she almost is like staring through you right now.
Professor, no one understands your thirst for knowledge more than I, but we need to be delicate here. And she like looks left and right. Keep just keep the fact of our surroundings in mind before we create any displays. And she smiles.
She looks around, narrowing her eyes, like, who do you think is the threat? Like, she's like she feels comfortable.
perhaps a demonstration without as many eyes would be better.
Almost all of the people in this bar answer to me. I think it's fine to do it here.
Plato speaks up from his spot over by the table, and he says, "Well, maybe we could unlock the medals on our friends as a start."
You see, she was like, she's just, your voice scared the shit out of her. She did not know you were there. Yes, see them freed. She doesn't look up. The mercenaries of the friend immediately unlock the monocles.
I also did this a little bit to have an effect on Ord, who I assume I got right behind.
Who did not realize you were there at all. He's really out of it, and it doesn't seem like alcohol. Like, it isn't like, he's not like obviously. He's like kind of like phased out. Yeah.
I mean, I've known Inara for a while. I bet she could whip up a potion that could do something like this.
Is he the only one that seems out of it, or are all three of them in the same state?
Leilani definitely is more aware and conscious. She's like still covering her mouth, like like cannot believe that she sold you out like that. Like, her cheeks are as red as they can be, and she looks so guilty. So she's like walking her mouth shut. Rourke looks pretty chill. He's got a smirk. He's looking to Plato. It looks like he knew Plato was here this whole time. He caught his eye, and actually I think he makes eye contact with Plato, and he goes, mouthing thank you for restoring his vision. Just assuming that it was you all.
As he says that, I think, and speaking to the current company, we just spent our time cleansing an oasis to the south, and some of us would require rest if we could lower the sort of tension.
Yes, as you say this, Sherrilyn came in last after swapping out quote cloaks, and she's like trying to very casually walk in after everyone else and glancing towards these witch mothers out the side of her eye just to be sure they don't notice who she is.
Roll me a stealth check. Or performance check, actually. Let's see performance.
Okie dokie. A 2 + 3 for a 5. We continue with these single-digit rolls.
About 10 seconds after Sherrilyn enters the space, the witch mothers in almost perfect unison get up and leave.
She freezes in place as she was walking in and watches them leave, thinking, well, that was a better outcome than I could have asked for. And she'll continue on until she meets up with the rest of the party.
Is them leaving pretty apparent to us?
Oh, they all, in perfect unison, get up from their chairs, creaking them across the floor, not tucking them in. So you hear like the 3 chair noises skirt across the floor all at the same time as they all, in perfect unison, stand up and then step out of the bar.
Good job, Sostalda.
However, Francis, Inara is in front of you, body blocking this like short, very frantic Tabaxi woman that is just like trying to get around her to catch sight of you holding the sensor, just like frantically. Her tail fully like up and around, like pointing around the whatever side she's going. Her tail's on the other side of Inara, like trying to find an opening here.
No, I personally think that it is okay if, even for a brief moment, we indulge the professor's curiosity.
I don't think she's giving us much of a choice, Inara says as she starts to try, but then gives up, realizing there's no way we're going to put her off of her mission. And seeing that Francis seems fine with it, she'll step aside and walk towards her sister and Plato and the rest of them.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, what is occurring? I arrived late.
just a moment, says Stalda, and Francis will kind of let the sensor hang low by like his shin almost, and then he's going to say Lana Jami, and then activate the sensor smoke.
You see the professor, Professor Octa Serene. Her face go blank again for a second as you see her again doing that like rethinking, calculating motion. As she reaches into her jacket and pulls out a small notebook and a quill that seems to be dripping with ink without her putting it into ink at all, and just begins writing a ton of stuff down. She takes a deep inhale, fills a couple of pages. She like you see her waft some of the smoke into her eyes, like holding her eyes completely open and then wafting the smoke into her eyes, and then writes like a couple pages down. This continues for a couple of minutes as you show her the sensor and its light in your hand.
If this fascinates you, then I should be the first to tell you that Sir Thon is not the only one to have provoked the censor.
Others have been able to get it to light.
One other whom I know of.
I will say, talking about the shadow, there is one key difference, which is she did like stuff it with incense and then burn the incense that you've visibly seen. When Francis does it, it just creates it. This is impressive. Where can I find them?
Francis will
Tragically,
like kind of look back between Sherrilyn and Inara and be like, "Okay, it's up to you two to answer this."
Tragically
irrelevant.
parted ways.
It's irrelevant anyway. The censor is with, what is your name again? Child of the Thon.
Francis Thon.
Francis. Obviously, the light of the lost is at work here, but for some reason, the lover is letting it being channeled through his divinity. It is said that the light and smells here are burned and created by the love that remains for him as he fought on. It should answer only in times of great need to those who need it. It would be sacrilegious, I feel, in a way, for me to take it back to the museum from you. It is a light that is showing you something. This is concerning, because I very much want it back.
If it's any consolation to you, Professor, I will take care of it with the utmost reverence for its importance to you and your culture.
But no one will be able to see it or learn from it. Oh, I could create a fake. Okay, yes. No, this will work.
He would like kind of like hold up his hand, almost like to slow it down. I was like, when our matters are done and we have completed our job, so to speak, I will make efforts to return it to you. I do not intend to keep it with me forever.
A divine censor that is holy, that responds to your will, is worth more than one that is educating in the museum. The second it no longer lights up for you, return it, but not the moment sooner.
For that, you have my word.
She's like biting her lips so hard they're bleeding. Like as she says that, like she fucking hates that she's saying it. As like a deep part of her is saying that. But you do watch as she says it, she is starting to sketch like designs for creating one beneath it. As her eyes kind of dart from you to the sensor, to her notebook from the sensor, and then to Sherrilyn, finally realizing and like processing her presence here. Who are you?
There's another elf here.
I am Sherrilyn.
She kind of like sniffs in. She walks up to you pretty slowly.
Can I help you?
She's gonna lean in close and she's gonna whisper something in your ear. You can see it too, can't you? Floating in the sky in the north. You can see it too, can't you?
Professor, are you quite alright? You only did just meet Sherrilyn.
Yeah, she's furrowing her brows.
Her eyes are glowing. She's definitely casting a spell.
I don't think she could see that because she's right next to her head, but and she's looking towards the party. It's slowly shaking her head. I think you have me mistaken, madam.
Yeah, the spell completes. Her spell cast was the verbal component of who are you, as her spell is completed.
Oops.
Okay. She walks away. All right. Anyway, the drinks are amazing here. I'm going to get drunk. You see the other there are some other dragonborn here as well that are part of her retinue that aren't the guards that immediately call for her attention, and they're having like very tense whispered, and they're kind of going at it in the other side here after this as they step away from you. Rourke holds up I bought the whole bottle of this stuff. It is delicious. We did not think we would see you again.
Good news then. The oasis has been taken care of, and we unfortunately got Inara a new pet, but I'll tell you about that later. Are you all right? I check in with Rourke and Ord, my two boys, now that there's a little less attention on us. You said Mikhail's looking rough from some sort of spell effect. Does he need to be taken somewhere to rest? I'll take him out to the cart if he needs me to.
He'd probably appreciate that. He seems a little catatonic.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him out to the cart to rest, and in doing so, double check that the witch mothers didn't go to our cart after they went outside.
Do check on the horses.
Yeah, both actions in one. I kind of want to take him out there and double sort of see if I can see where that group went.
Well, yeah, you see them right away. They're about 200 feet away from the door, sitting down, all crossed from each other, in like crisscross applesauce, forming a triangle, kind of directly 200 feet away from the door on the ground.
Goodness me.
What was the other question there? Sorry.
I was just bringing him out to the...
Yeah. You can bring him out to the cart, no issues. You hear the howls of some jackals in the distance, kind of familiar at this point.
I lay him down, make sure he's all right, and I say, just so you know, there's a dragon in the cage. Do not open it.
I'm still sad about Leilani.
I know.
I really thought she was going to be my wife, and...
It's hard. It's hard to be young. Now rest.
He like kind of just like freezes up a little bit. Like definitely very susceptible to whatever drug mix this was.
Yeah, and I'll head back in afterwards knowing that he's safe and might semi look after the dragon, and I know what the witch mothers are up to.
I think Sherrilyn would take this time to go to the bar and inquire about that drink that she owes Enka. Yes, so she would approach the bar. I see there's a bird-like creature. That's not Rourke, is it? That's someone else.
No, it's just straight up a big vulture. It's on the bar top. It's currently, you can see, being talked to in a two deep lower voices by these prey mantis striking, who seem to be kind of in some sort of argument with it as you approach.
She rocks forward on her feet, kind of inserting herself into conversation. Excuse me. Hello.
We've had enough of this conversation. You see I am so sorry. Yes, hello, new guest, new person. Yes, hello, welcome to the Beheaded Bachelor. Me and my brother's fine establishment. The vulture is making a fucking mess now, as it's like wiggling its beak back and forth into his kind of like a little upset that the other guy walked away from it. How can I help you?
She moves slightly out of the area of the vulture so she's not in the splash zone and says, I'm here on behalf of a friend, Enka of the Smuggler's Gin.
His eyes kind of like look to you and then look over to the vulture and then look over to you. She's already sent an envoy. He's currently finishing the taste testing. He's very, very picky. He's been here for quite a few days now. But once we finally get it good enough, we will send her the shipment.
Wait, this one. She points to the vulture man. This one.
Roll me a DC 10 intelligence check.
6.
Yes, this one.
She leans on the bar and turns towards this vulture person, folding her hands.
Just a vulture. Just straight
a
up
vulture.
a bird. Not an air curtain, just a bird.
Does it speak?
Yeah, of course I speak.
Pardon me.
How can I say if it's good or bad? I can't speak. He's like obviously very drunk.
You say you're very familiar with Enka and she sent you to retrieve a drink for her.
Yeah, she gave me sentience for this exact purpose.
Pardon me for my skepticism, but
He lifts up the cup and like downs it. Bad! And he spits it off on the other side of the bar. More!
And what was it exactly that she asked you to be tasting?
She sent me to re-up on the delivery, but she said, It's gotta be the tops. He holds up a little talon. Or she won't take it.
Well, perhaps I could help. I am a bit of a connoisseur of alcohol myself.
Nah, she awoken me for this specific purpose, Missy. He's like putting his talon right next to you. You do remember her now with this, her saying that she did send a vulture, but was sure that he would be lost in the sandstorm. It appears he made it.
If I may, you look quite sandy. Have you taken a break from your libations?
Yeah, you gotta sleep.
And a bath?
I do sky baths. It's when you get the wind all in your hair. It cleans it out real good.
Well, if I may, you have a bit of, and she reaches down and she's going to, like, brush some sand out of the crevices of his feathers. You have some stuck in there. I think a bath would do you good. Like an actual on-land bath.
Okay, pour me a bath, he shouts to the Thrykean.
Just water. Bath for him. Not to drink.
Like in the sink, or what are we doing here?
Like in a tub, I think.
Okay. Alright, we will go draw you a bath, Sir Voltaire.
Good, excellent. She lays both of her forearms on the desk, or the bar top, and she leans over and tries to smell whatever he's had in front of him that is now on his beak.
Yeah, it's very smoky mezcal. It hits your nose. It's roasted, smashed agave plants that have been fermented and alcohol and spirits added to it, to create this incredibly smoky flavor and smell.
What's so bad about the drink that you just had?
Not enough worms.
Worms?
Yeah.
Does Enka often put worms in drinks for vultures?
I don't know. I only knew it for a couple of minutes.
And have all of these drinks that you've been tasting, have they tasted the same that just have not had worms?
No, they all taste better than the last one, but don't tell the bugs that.
All right, I will not.
Hey, you've known that you're sentient and have had free will for a long time now. You look like you're like, what, 80, 90? I've had it for 3 days. He holds up 3 little talons. This is what I'm doing with it.
Well, I am 40, and I wouldn't quite say that I've had free will for my entirety of my life. Perhaps you could show me the way.
Yeah, just please don't give my scam up, okay?
That is fine, as long as I can decide which of these is best for Enka. Do we have a deal?
Of course.
Called me old?
We just watched Sherrilyn march to the back of the bar and start engaging a conversation with a vulture.
Is Stalda talking to a bird?
Stalda is talking to a bird, but she does not appear to be arguing with the bird, so I think we are making progress.
Yeah, she turns around and shoots you a thumbs up.
Oh,
As she feels like she is mending the bridge between herself and wildlife.
just doing a good job with the bird, it looks like.
She did leave her javelin in the car, did she?
I think so. She's got that weird new shiny throwing spear now, and I don't know. She can sort of hide that. Will be tied to the bird.
Did you want to try it? What's your name, by the way, lady? And do you really know Anka? Did she awaken you too?
She has awakened me to several revelations, but yes, I know Enka. She gave me this beautiful flower. You see?
She gave me this terrible brain.
I'm not sure she gave that to you.
I used to just chase rats and field mice all day. It was a beautiful existence. Absorbed the sun.
Well, who's to say you can't still do those things?
Flew around, not worrying about whether or not there was an afterlife. Whether if anything I did was meaningful or had an impact.
Or tithes.
Anyway, another round with more Grand Mitla, please. You want one? There's no Thrykean in his field of vision, but he doesn't seem to note that or realize it all.
Yes, I would be delighted.
Have you had Mitla before?
No, I don't believe I have.
It's delicious. He uses his wing and claw to like flap over a little like dish that seems to be filled with this spice. Have some.
How do I... do you put it in your mouth?
He pecks it.
Oh. You want me to...
Hmm.
with my head?
What is she doing?
I think she's trying to communicate with the bird.
She's nodding her head up and down, like, with, like, you want me to peck it?
That's what you do with worms.
Oh, this is worms?
Yeah, of course.
You know what? On second thought, I think I will leave more room for alcohol.
Oh, there's worms in that too. Worms are a very important part of the process here. Why do you think I love it? But there's not enough of them.
But you can ask for the virgin version. It will have no worms.
No. It's like a core part of the process. You can't have wormless. No, nah. He just starts vomiting. Like projectile bird vomiting across the bar here, mid saying no.
She's making progress?
Yeah, I think that might be positive with
She's
birds.
doing something to him.
Yeah, something's happening for sure. And she hasn't stabbed it.
It's still in one piece.
Did she mention the owl to him?
Oh, maybe he knew
good
the owl.
point.
Oh, we are going to give him so much trouble.
She's just tapping her fingers on the bar and rubbing the bridge of her nose, waiting for him to stop vomiting.
The threekin comes back. All right, dude, Beth is. Oh God, not again. He takes a cloth and like puts it underneath his mouth and like collects it, and then like grabs him with his other large praying mantis like arm. As he's gonna bring him to the bath. I'm sorry, madame. We'll be back.
Sherrilyn does not do well with the avian kind.
I think that went
she's great with
spectacularly.
the
Better,
vulture,
yeah. We went from bad to neutral, definitely.
Good improvement.
The professors are still arguing on the other side of the room.
I'm going to want to talk to the professor.
What we don't know about Inca is that there's like for every one meerkat that has agreed to work with her and is working with her, there's like 7 who chose a different path. That's just like out there in a little raiding party together, like running a business, like a small business. Because like not every, just because they're awakened doesn't mean that they're woke for her,
So you're
So
saying there's
presumably, they've
a
all
gang
left.
of loose meerkats?
Yeah, somewhere out in the wild.
Someone out there, this is a bunch of meerkats.
A mob of meerkats.
Plato, you said you were going to approach the professor, Dr. Serene. She is still mid-conversation with the other professors from Dariella Keen, who seem to be in a more calm now, but still tense series of whispered statements to one another.
Yeah, I was definitely trying to hold off on the approach until it seemed that she was in a more neutral state of mind, though I suppose maybe someone like this is never in a truly neutral sort of state, energized as she seems to be.
Yeah, roll me an insight check.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. A thing I'm bad at. 9 plus 0, 9.
Yeah, I mean, you see she's definitely, despite being the youngest person in the conversation, between these 4, what you seem to be professors, absolutely the calmest, and seems to be just firing back like very quickly at anything that's getting said to her here. And like as you see it go on, it does look like she's winning whatever the conversation seems to be happening, and you feel comfortable interrupting. Because it seems like they're just repeating the same points. Like you hear them say the same thing a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, like, we've been through that one, next. And then they're just like, no, it's important. We should. But yeah.
Yeah, nodding to Rourke as I move past, I guess make eye contact with him before I sit down near to her. I'll just clear my throat a bit and looking at her, I will say, did I hear you say you are on your way to Netta's rally? Our party as well is headed in that direction.
Interesting. What is your purpose for travel?
Oh, well, we are returning from a rough trip, to be honest with you. And I saw that you have amongst your retinue some mercenaries of the Friend, and it was your lovely lizards that were out in the stable. We are, obviously, I travel with, would it be Miss Escanda? What is, like, your title?
I was thinking about that. I don't think she has one. She's just the daughter of the Gilded Rose.
The lab haver. Yes, as you can see, I traveled with Inara Escanda daughter of the Gilded Rose, and you seemed to have some awareness for my friend Sathon. As you can see, we are a group of some, not renown, but consequence, and that consequence must meet its purpose, I suppose, at Netta's rally.
Her eyes, she's definitely taking in everything you said. She kind of hails the other three and says, "We will finish this later." As she like motions to listen to you, and she takes it in and says, "Wait, first, what is your name?"
Hmm. Well, I will avoid speaking in abstractions anymore. I am Plato Ardavian of the Ardavian High House.
She nods, and kind of bows, not as deeply as she did for Inara, but very, very respectfully and like properly. Like there's form to it, not just like an expression of respect, but like a ritualistic one. And like I'd even say I don't know what a Perian bow looks like. I think that's more for you to define, but I think it's a Perian bow specifically that
Yeah,
she does.
I think you're right. Probably not too deep, just sort of a stiff kind of at the waist, sort of more of a nod of the head and upper body than a full kind of nod over. Don't let the rain pool on your back in Perian. And I think he nods back to her and says, "Thank you very much, but I think you might know my people have abjured such respects, though I will take that in the spirit which you meant it. If we could join you on your path to Neto's rally, I think it would benefit all of us."
Indeed. Um, you know, you're like half a day's away, right? I mean, we're more than happy to travel together, but it's right over that first cliff, the
Yes,
riverway.
if you knew the path we have traveled to get here, maybe you would understand. I would value even a half day's more
I
security.
see. I'm trying to figure that out because the four of you are from such different places.
Sorry, I was wondering. She waved those people off, right? The
Yeah,
people that I was speaking more abstractly around. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it was potentially from the peace meet, but that is a 3-day event. There's no way to travel with your current card setup could have gotten you this far. And I
Um,
know from thoroughly interrogating your other men here that you spent some time at the smuggler's place.
Smuggler's gin, yes. Good business if you're looking for someone to stop. They were quite nice to us there.
They knowingly harbored. She looks offended a
Hmm.
little bit by the when
I
you said
am
good business. Like
I am
it's
not.
roll me an insight check.
Let's see. 13 plus 0,
Okay.
1.
She's
Plus 0.
definitely going to be taking legal action against that place. Like try to
Hmm.
try and shut it. Like that is definitely part of her plan here is after hearing about it from
Thorough.
interrogating the rest of your party, the fact that they openly harbored people who stole artifacts from Daryakin and like
Hmm.
went there, the fact that a Luxorian person would like allow them to hide there, obviously not knowing the full picture of the situation. She knew about the sensor before you walked in. Like
Yeah,
she
she knew
knew
it was on
Francis
his
had
hip.
it. She knew exactly what it was from interrogating.
Hmm. Well, that would be bad, I suppose, but I don't know what I can do about it right now. Uh, uh, sorry, its proprietor was of some assistance to us in taking out of what we could of Zaturgi. As you can see, we relinquished them of their main form of transport. We hope they will be of trouble no longer, but that is just one example of the things we have run into that your escort may secure us against as we head into Netos Rally.
She's like thinking it over. Do you have any leads on where they went? They still deserve justice.
It was my understanding that they would probably make for the black markets of Honhop. I had intentions of deploying some of my own agents to investigate once I was able to make contact with them. I need people who will keep a weather eye out for me.
Her mouth kind of opens a bit. Agents, as she looks. Is this how he was able to resist all of my potions and elixirs? Is there some sort of training? She like not important, not important. As her eyes like glance over to work for just a second, like still trying to figure out how she was beaten there. As she talks to you. Yes. This is all very helpful. I I appreciate this. They do deserve justice. I guess my next question is, how close do you think the hero is to being appointed in Perian? What is the current public stance? Because if I am not needed to go and give my voice to the pro, then I
Pardon?
can begin my hunt right away.
You mentioned this, I heard. The divine hero. I,
Yes, the rebel leader of the South. People began worshipping what he stood for, springing into action for those who need it, leaving no man behind, never running away or backing down. Those who started to follow his path began to manifest powers. Uh, the last time this has happened was 200 centuries ago when the merchant of Luxoria, before Luxoria was even Luxoria, started finding the roads and waving the path. Uh, but yes, a new power is forming in the south of Perian, and it is in the name of the hero, the Triton, who fell, leading those men in the distractionary case. And of course, I'm well aware of what the Ardavan High House did during the coup. It was incredibly impactful, but the world can't have enough divinity, uh, and hope is hope. So I'm going to speak and make as many arguments as I can that the people should um, go forth with this amendment to add to the divine of Perian and create the hero.
do we have a name for that character yet? I'd
How do we feel
appreciate
about
it.
Tristar Kellic?
Tristar? TriStar sounds
Okay.
like, which is a film company. Kellic I like.
Okay. I think it's just Kellic. I don't think he had a last name. I think it was he was a former slave. The Triton leader of the South. For the slaves who stayed around but still had fight in their heart, organized them all together mid coup. As you know well, Kellic,
Mhm.
the Triton who fell, the very young Triton whose passion was obvious. You know him also as the apprentice, long-time apprentice from a very young age of the elected mayor of Netters Rally, Vartun Freewind, was his mentor and right hand man for all things in the South. Following his death during the battle, he was elected
Yes.
mayor in the way.
It's probably been a long time since I thought of Kellic, who I think I was probably in my meetings with thought was a little too caught up in his own momentum. But his drawing of the forces away from Squallhopped is what has allowed us to back Socrates into a corner. That's basically what allowed us to take over the coup. But the people that were lost in the coup, Plato does not like to think of them. So I think he is surprised to hear this, definitely. So surprised, in fact, he's trying very hard not to give away how surprised he is. That he would not have heard of this or had a stance on this because of his own desire to stay in the sluice feels like quite a wake-up call to him. And I think all he can say in response is, no one fought more ardently or more bravely than Kellic.
In my mind, when it comes to the divine, it is always what they represent that is important. Not the individual action, but what can be drawn from it. The clerics and paladins to come of his way will add to the good in the world.
Yeah, I think Plato would just sort of nod along to that because as much as he believes what he just said, Kellic was just a guy when he knew him, and he's got his own feelings about the divine that he's sort of been personally involved with. So I don't think he buys this right off the top. I think instead he says, well, as an addition, maybe as we travel through the desert, you can practice your argument on me.
I unfortunately she kind of smiles and like blushes a little bit. I will try my absolute best to convince the others that we should travel as one. You have to understand, though, your cart it literally just has not the right in front of Turgy. It says
Yes.
not the right in front of Turgy. Like it was not subtle. The other people they wanted them arrested, and I was like, no, no, no. We just asked them questions, make them. Anyway, that's I can if I can convince everyone else. I'm not the true authority here. We are a system of equals. So I will have this discussion overnight tonight. You rest, and maybe tomorrow I will be able to confirm let's travel together, and I can practice my arguments. Do you think you'd be able to play
Uh,
Diabolo Advocato?
do I? What was that? And do I know what it is?
Would you find the contrarian position on why this hero should not be named divine?
Yes, I make an excellent contrarian, as my companions will tell you.
Perfect. Well, then hopefully tomorrow we leave at once. I need to go finish a series of conversations with these men. She offers
Yeah.
her hand to shake.
Yep, he'll shake with the meat hand. I think he's still a little tender about how the water arm might be reacting with its new crystal upgrade.
You watch her register that your hand and arm is made of water for the first
This
time.
always happens.
As she looks it over up and down and like a couple times, she does a triple check, a quadra check, a penta check, and then says out loud, honestly, don't have time right now. As she just gets up and goes to finish talking with the other professors.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I've got to do in the bar. I think I'll cast a sending spell before I go to sleep, but I don't know if what everyone else is doing now, or if anyone wants to catch her on her way up.
Sherrilyn is staying at the bar, waiting for the Mantis people to come back so that she can taste test alcohol.
Yeah, a couple minutes go by, and one of them comes back covered in like feathers, and it is very wet, like soaking wet, as he kind of changes his apron. Okay, well, yes, you also represent Inca? What can I
Yes.
do for you?
Well, I believe she's looking for a specific smoky mezcal.
Yes, all of our mezcal is very smoky. I can pour you the latest batch. We tried so hard, but the only direction the vulture gave was more worms, and there's a limit to the amount of worms you can put in, right? And I understand she wants it wormy, wormy, wormy. That's what she wants, and Inca gets what she
No.
wants.
No, I don't think she wants it full of worms. I think that was the vulture speaking.
He like slaps his knee, which is like and kind of like bends forward a little bit as it's like an inverse knee. I didn't think for a second that the vulture could lie. As he like looks down and to the left, like with a deep seething rage.
Yes, well, I believe that all creatures have the capacity to lie.
This is Duck.
Yes. So that is to say, no worms will be necessary.
I mean, some worms have to be necessary. It's just part of it.
In the drink that I am tasting, I would prefer there be no worms.
Grand Mitla, which is real, is like a seasoning that gets put on top of it and around the rim, and it is just a bunch of ground up worms that are found in agave, which is what he was eating. But that is like a total real thing.
All right.
Recently.
How about I posture this? Well, obviously, if this is a normal thing to consume, then and Enka would prefer it, then I will be willing to give it a go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it is delicious. It is a family tradition. We have raised it for a really long time. He wanted whole worms that weren't processed in any way or
Yes,
seasoned.
see, this is what I was understanding too. So as long as there are no whole worms inside of the drink
No,
slithering about, then
no.
yes,
All
that is well.
it's a smooth experience. Yes, and it's delicious. But yeah, yes. You ready?
As I'll ever be.
His like praying mantis hands move incredibly quickly as he whips up a do you want shot or cocktail?
What is the difference? The size?
The amount of liquid.
Yes. How about we start small? I've had a mixture of substances recently that have not treated me well.
Yeah, he pours you a shot with way too many movements. Like he moves so many times for what it is. Like a lot of the movements had to have been unnecessary, as he just does like a full flair bartender experience, and then just kind of like grabs a shot from the left of the bar that was already there and like moves it towards you.
She's clapping slowly, nodding.
We take tips.
You were serious. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a gold coin and slides it across the bar.
Thank you.
No, please pay us.
He takes it and kisses it, and then puts it in his pocket.
How large is this glass? Because this
It's just a little taster shot. It's like
Okay,
5 ounces.
Okay, I have to ask.
You can smell it. It's smoky as hell.
The mantis seems quite large. So, yes, she picks it up and kind of circles it around under her nose, giving it a smell, and
Anyone
then
can,
drink it down.
you hear a vulture getting a bath in the distance and hating it.
She drinks it all down in one go with a resounding swallow.
It's hard to do, but as it hits your mouth, it is delicious and soothing and smoky and balanced. And there's some bitters, and it is a very complex and delicious flavor. And you think Anka would be incredibly happy with this.
She sets the glass down on the bar top. Yes, I don't believe any additional changes will be necessary. No, no more worms. It is perfect as is. And she gently pats the bar top.
Perfect. Same amount as last time?
I would assume so.
Perfect. We'll send it first thing in the morning. Thank you so much.
Glad I could help. Do leave a note mentioning me.
He's gonna lean in really, really close.
Second person to whisper in my ear
He
today.
kind of exhales a little bit, as like he doesn't like that he's about to ask you this. Can I kill the vulture?
I'm sorry. Did you say kill the vulture?
Yes, I said kill the vulture. I don't understand the rules of it. Is he a person? Is he a vulture? I can kill a bird, but he can talk. But all he does is drink my alcohol and lie to me. I didn't know he was capable of lies, but he was. He didn't even hint at it. And I would like to kill him and then eat him.
Well, would it not make more sense to just throw him out into the desert?
He can fly. He'll get away. He won't die then and be eaten. Oh, sure. Understanding what you mean. Like, yes, I guess that would be easier.
Well, I mean, you do not know what would happen to him, and if you don't know what happens to him, then who's to say if he lives or dies, and then your hands are clean. I am not speaking from experience.
No one who said that has sent people off into the woods for years.
He goes to work preparing the shipment. I have the bottles. Anybody else doing anything?
Could I attach a note, an actual physical note, with the shipment?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. She's just gonna write like a quick note, essentially saying thank you for saving my life, and there's gonna be a little sketch of the flower that Enka gave her on there, and then she'll sign her name very elaborately. Like half of the note is just her elaborate signature.
That's so sweet. All right. Anybody else anything here?
I feel like Inara would have spent most of that time catching her sister up. She would have gone quickly over the rest of the battle and how the group defeated the Naga, but she would have spent most of the time excitedly explaining how she acquired a new pet and that it's waiting out in the cart and that she can't wait to start training it.
She's covering her mouth, and every now and then she like uncovers her mouth to try to respond to you, and instead she just names a time she was cruel to you when you were both younger. Like consistently details. She's just like, remember when we were 4 and like pushed you into that lake for like no reason, and like so badly affected.
The first couple of times, Inara tries to just brush it off, recognizing that this is the effect of whatever potion she was given. And then I'm assuming they get progressively worse. So, like, by the third one, she goes, yes, yes, I remember, I was there. It was done to me. Yeah, as she watches her struggle, she goes, Karma's a bitch, though. And then
She
once
wants to
we're
see the dragon. She's like, like lead her to the cart so she could see the dragon. She would like.
Before we head out, she might try to catch the eye of one of the prayer mantis waitresses, serving people. And she'll ask them if they have any available rooms like that we could board in overnight.
Yeah, the one playing piano is taking a break at the moment, and he's kind of like dabbing sweat off of his face and cheeks. And you kind of approach him and ask, yeah, burrow is available. 5 silver apiece. For the night. They fit 2 comfortably. Oh, if they collapse overnight, just stay calm. We will dig you up. Just maintain your breath.
How many can fit into the cart?
Good, yeah, that is good to know. I will confer with my companions. and she'll lead Lilani out to the cart. Who's at the cart? I know you left Ord there. Was that it?
I might have headed back out there if I was done with my conversation with Okta, since I figure I'm going to sleep out there, and I wanted some privacy to cast my sending spell. But I'm probably just chilling. You don't have to. You just pass me. I wave at you. Are you showing her the dragon?
Yes.
All
Also,
right.
apparently they have burrows we could sleep in, but they may or may not collapse on us during the night.
Oh, so many interesting accommodations on our trip. Well, some of us will have to sleep in Zakat, I assume, but maybe some in Zaburrow for the experience. Did they say what to do if it collapses?
Wait till morning and they'll dig us out.
Oh,
She looks at you skeptically, goes, I might just want to stay by the dragon. He said it only fits two, so clearly they're not very roomy.
yes, I think I will also maybe do Zakat or around Zakat. But have fun.
Once Sherrilyn has finished writing her note for Enka, I think she will also leave. Does she have to pass that triangle of witches on the way out? She would also pick up her cloak on the way out. I have to mention that.
Yeah, when Shannon left, Francis would just follow her out with her.
I think you count 12 to your immediate view of them.
Oh, they're growing in number.
Of the witch mothers. They're now sitting in a circle, about 200 feet away from the entry right here. The three moons shining bright in the sky. The sun's having fully fallen.
Do I have to pass them to get to the cart?
No. The cart's kind of wrapped around on the other side of the stables. Or like on the other side of the road from you, essentially. As much as there's a road in the desert.
I'm sure nothing terrible is happening.
Yeah, do you want to try and see if you can see anything or hear anything from this distance?
Yeah. She's had keen ears today. Many people have whispered into them. I think she'll try and listen to hear if they're chanting anything specific or murmuring or praying.
You listen in, they're definitely chanting something. As you listen for chanting, yeah, there's chanting going on.
Is it a language that I'm familiar with?
Roll me to see how much you can hear. Perception.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Unleash thine divine vengeance. Destroy those who would bind us in chain. Unleash thy divine vengeance. Destroy those who would bind us in chain. You hear it being repeated, specifically in. Oh, it's just in common. It's in common. They're saying it in common, and you hear their voices. They're not saying it in unison. They're saying it almost as responses to one another, multiple ones of them, and you can like hear it kind of being thrown across the circle back and forth at each other here as they're getting louder and louder as you listen in.
Go ahead.
So, are you quite alright? You seem to have gone a little pale.
Yes, remind me to ask Lady Inara if this behavior is typical in her lands.
I fear as though the answer you get will not be to your liking.
I don't know why you would assume that. I have not exchanged a single word with these people.
But it is not a common sight, I feel like, in any place for this to happen.
Ritualistic chanting. It's fairly normal where I come from.
Right outside of an establishment like this with no real establishment around them?
Why not?
Well, then I just assume that we will know our answer when Lady Inara tells you.
Reverence has a place everywhere, Sir Thought. I'm sure you are aware of this.
Yes, I am very aware of this fact.
She's not going to approach this ritual. Honestly, it's not really out of fear that she's avoiding them. It's more out of respect for them. She's kind of unsure now after the occurrences that have happened with Diana. She's not really sure of the nature of these people whom were probably exiled by her. So she's just going to leave them alone to their own business, and if something should happen to her because of them, then she'll face that when it comes.
Yeah, absolutely. You think there's 13 of them now in the circle as you decide to face it when it comes.
A whole coven, one might say.
Inara, you and Leilani are walking alongside the Beheaded Bachelor, headed back to your cart. Leilani is covering her mouth, kind of avoiding saying more horrible things under the effects of whatever combination of concoctions Octoserine had put her under as part of the interrogation to find out more about your party before you had arrived in the flesh. Her mouth still kind of remains closed, but she looks excited to see whatever it is that you are excited to show her. You see, again, the palanquin and many sidewinder lizards that make up entourage that you now know has to belong to Octoserine and the other professors from Dalyalkeen.
So, yeah, she's walking along next to her sister, very excited to show her the dragon. And as she turns to her side to look at her sister, before she gets a chance to say anything, she notices that she's covering her mouth again. And she's irked by it. And she goes, did they tell you how long the effects of whatever potion or spell you're under is going to go on for? Because let me tell you, honestly, Lonnie, not a favorite of mine.
Covers her mouth to try to answer, and immediately go, not as long as you. She covered her mouth, able to stop the sick burn that she was unwittingly about to say. On the hand covering her mouth, she holds up 2. You're not sure if it means 2 more minutes, 2 more hours, 2 days, but she holds up 2 to answer your question.
Not as long as I, huh? I will deal with you later.
You know what? You're an alchemist. You probably know it's 2 more hours. I think you know the capabilities and potency, yeah.
I definitely know I'm not lucky enough for it to be 2 more minutes. Okay, well, I'll give you a pass this one time just because I'm in a really good mood and I'm not going to let you ruin this for me. And as she climbs into the cart, she notices Mezcal.
Yeah, Mezcal is completely catatonic on a cot. His eyes are wide open, but he seems completely unable to move or pay any attention to you.
Yeah, she looks down at him and tries not to smirk outwardly, but you could tell she's holding it back. And she goes, now there's someone who would have benefited from your honesty early on. Really, sister, you shouldn't have messed with his heart so badly. Poor child.
It was literally an assignment from Mother. And you see her slam another hand over her mouth to try and hold it in place. And she's kind of looking around the cart.
He's unconscious, though, right?
To the best of your knowledge, yeah. He's not receptive to anything whatsoever.
He's not responding. And she goes, I'll never admit this in front of him, but I kind of feel bad for the boy. And then she moves past, opens the overhead compartment, and gently pulls out. You see her struggle a little bit.
As fire fills the top of the chamber here. He did not like being left alone. I need a dexterity saving throw from you and Leilani, as very suddenly the cage emits with this burst of flame.
That was a nat 1.
Was not expecting the cute and cuddly dragon to be angry.
Am I about to lose some fur?
Okay, Leilani, no joke, got a 19 plus 2, so that puts her at a 21. So she's completely fine here. You're going to take 6 points of fire damage as it kind of singes your eyebrows a bit, and the fur around your face is lessened and thinned out a bit around your whiskers as he greets you. And then big, goofy, toothy smile after he exhales, as if it was like a big burp.
Oh my goodness.
He looks very pleased with the amount of gas he's just got out of his body, like as he smiles.
Poor baby! Inara's completely unfazed with the damage she took.
He just burned you! Oh my god, are you done?
Inara turns to look at her, and she goes, just keep in mind that he is my dragon. Just so you know. And then turns back to me, you poor baby, I'm so sorry I left you alone. And she unlatches the gate to the cage.
It hasn't been that long, but he still seems kind of incorrigible. As he brushes through the cage, he immediately goes to try and nibble on one of your fingers, obviously hungry.
She reaches into her bag and brings out more of the rations. We're going to have to stock up before we head out. I don't think I have enough snacks for you for the whole trip. As she gives him, I would assume, like whole pieces of fruit as if they're treats. So he like scarfs down an apple and then a pear and a whole banana that he grabs out of her hand before she has a chance to completely peel it.
You see him like try an apple, and then and then he tries a banana, and then as he spits them out.
Oh no. So she digs back in, and I would assume she still has some dried meat, but we gave him some earlier, so I'm assuming I'm running low at this point. And lays it down for him. And then she looks up at Leilani. Leilani, this is, well, for now we're calling him Tantrum. It's growing on me, but still. However, once he's old enough, he gets to pick his own name, don't you?
He very sloppily, with his large armored plate body, kind of wraps himself around the meat that you put out and just takes off from the cart, flying out into the sky, holding the meat.
Yeah? I mean, is he flying away or flying in like circles above the cart?
You go to the cart to watch him, and he's just like, he flies up and he's just circling the top of the cart, blowing this fire as he's cooking the meat for himself, as you watch him like burn it to a crisp.
He's such a smart little guy.
You then watch him land with it, and he takes a bite of it, and then he spits it out. He goes, "Bleh."
Okay, maybe not so smart. You really have to stop burning your own food, buddy.
He's looking at you expectantly as he lands.
Let's see, do I have anything else in my bag? I would assume that at this point she's basically out of food. And then she turns to her sister and goes, well, talking to you has not been fun tonight, so why don't you go back to the tavern and see if you can get us some more rations for Tantrum here.
Yeah, Tantrum is looking at you kind of expectantly. You see him kind of eye the sky for a bit and then look back at you as if he's waiting for you to give him a command or permission.
Seeing him look up at the sky, she's going to look at him. It's pretty dark out, right? Okay, you can fly, but stay close. I don't know what dangers lie out there in the desert. You don't want to end up in someone else's cage. So if you need to take off, but stay within range.
Roll me an animal handling check.
That was an 18 on the die plus 0, so 18.
Okay. He seems to be recognizing all the words that you're saying, but he still is like kind of leaning in, listening, waiting for a word, and you realize that you need to give him the command hunt.
Okay, after I tell him everything I said and he doesn't react, she goes, hunt! Go hunt!
He takes off like a large, determined bumblebee, still shaky in his flight, unable to maintain any sort of upward balance, but he moves quick as he takes off, hunting. Leilani, I would much prefer to just sleep and not help you at all. Can I do that?
You know what? I would prefer for you to sleep as well. Go away.
Again, I am... She can't even say I'm sorry. Like, she's trying too very hard. You can see her face straining as she climbs into the cot above Ward, catatonic, as they recover from the interrogation earlier in the day. What do? Do you go back into the inn?
I think she's gonna go back in and see if she can ask one of the praying mantises for some rations for the trip, focusing solely on things that she knows would appeal to Tantrum. So no more fruits and vegetables, my guess is going to be.
As you go in, you go back in for it. You don't see them all right away.
All the praying mantises, you mean?
Yeah, you don't see any Thrykean in the establishment as you go back in. There's folks still playing the card games. You see two large mushrooms now are on their like fourth round. One smaller mushroom, one larger mushroom, but you don't immediately see a Thrykean.
She'll go up to the bar and try to like lean over and maybe like tap her knuckles against the bar top to see if she can get anyone's attention from the back.
Yeah, what are you doing? Just kind of yelling?
Yeah, she'll first knock on the bar top, and if no one appears, she'll call, hello? I could use some service over here.
Yeah, a couple seconds later, one of the Thrykean brothers emerges from the back, and you see him. He kind of fixes up his suit that he's wearing. He's this kind of like nicer black leather that they've all been wearing. That's kind of like the uniform here. And you see him pull a couple of feathers out of his collar. It seems to have been like kind of stuck there as he walks forth.
Vulture feathers?
Yeah, at first glance they look like they could be vulture feathers. I am so sorry for the delay, mademoiselle. How may I assist you?
What types of rations would you offer travelers?
We have He kind of looks over at all the bottles on the shelf. In season right now. Well, soon we'll have fresh pomegranates. We were going to make a pomegranate mezcalitas.
I see where this is going. Well, the pomegranates actually sound very appetizing. Can I have some for me and my traveling companions?
Yes, first thing tomorrow.
Oh? Where are the other waiters?
We're having an internal discussion about next steps on a thing we're doing back there. We might have some bird meat. We might have some fresh bird meat coming. I'm still 50-50 on that.
I'm trying to decide how Inara feels about this. Because she saw the interaction between Cher and that vulture. But I don't know that she heard much of it. Well, why don't we revisit this in the morning when you know for sure what you will and won't have in stock? And playing absolutely dumb, like she has no idea what bird meat he could be referring to, she bids him a good night and turns around and goes back to the cart. In her head, come what may, this is fate. We are in the desert still, and honestly, that stupid bird-brained vulture dug his own grave in her mind, so she's staying out of it. She's gonna head back to the cart and get ready to bed down for the night. I want to say she'll take whichever bunk, compartment, corner in the cart that gives her the best vantage point of the outside of the cart so she can keep an eye out for Tantrum when he flies back.
As you return to the cart, I would be sitting right outside it. I was waiting for everyone to go to sleep so that I could cast my sending spell. I saw Tantrum take off. I will keep an eye out for him, if you'd like to get some rest.
She reaches up and brings a hand to her now singed eyebrows and goes, okay, just be careful. He's still quite excitable and young.
I think I can douse it. I hold up my hand. Wiggle my fingers.
Oh, true? You might be actually the perfect babysitter.
Inara has, no eyebrows.
She's all fur. How can I tell what part of her eyebrows are missing?
Because it's singed off.
Oh.
Weirdest looking tabaxi ever.
A new pattern. Quite wonderful. But I hope you get some nice rest. I will also keep an eye on the coven.
She turns and looks to what you're talking about and goes, oh, yes, that is definitely something we should keep an eye out for. Well, I'll go rest up, and if you guys decide you want to take watches, just wake me up when you decide to lie down. And she jumps into the cart.
Yeah. Phil, if I will ask, are Francis and Sherrilyn also in the cart now? Are they headed to sleep?
Yes, I believe so. I think she returns to the cart and just settles down.
Yeah, Francis will probably find a position either at the front or in the rear part of the cart.
I think she's made peace that if something's going to happen, something's going to happen.
I love that both Inara and Sherrilyn have sort of resolved themselves to their fate on this night. As I look up at the stars, everyone rested behind me, and I track, if I can, with my dark vision goggles on, the shadow of Tantrum going across the constellations as I'd reach out with my mind to Nori. And I say to her, a half day from Netta's rally, traveling with important ambassadors. I'll rendezvous with Nimbus there and try to lay low. Could use some cash.
The trust fund is running a little dry.
I'm a trust fund baby, and this is how I talk to my sister when I need things, much like when I stole the coffee.
In a very kind of matter-of-fact response, it will be done.
I don't have another spell slot, but I think of her face. It would be so nice to see my sister again. And I, try to think of Netta's rally, and how close we are to that place I remember. And then I maybe nod off outside the cart.
You wake up a good 35 minutes later as you feel a beak gnawing at your face. As Tantrum is just kind of pulling Plato's face forward.
So, that's beard, buddy. That hurts. You can't pull that out. I reach up with the water hand.
He's covered in blood. Just covered.
Off. Looks like you had a successful hunt. I'll use some of my... I think I have my create water can, and I'll just douse him a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to mind it as the water covers him.
So he does his dog shake.
Yeah, but it's slower as he kind of like cracks the different plates that makes up his armor in place as the water like flows through them. You see some of the water like pools in different places, and he has to like lean over for it to tilt out as you clean him off.
That's better. Inara won't want you to get bloody on her. Why don't you go inside? Just curl up. Don't set anything on fire.
Roll me an animal handling check. And it's still in this pubescent age.
17 plus 0.
He uses his snub nose and sturdy head to kind of like bash the cart door open a bit, waking up anyone who's a lighter sleeper as the dragon just kind of bursts through the door and like flies into the cart.
Tantrum's back.
You see him fly to Inara's bed and just like land dead center mass on her chest. He's at least 30 pounds already and just kind of curl up into a warm ball.
A good thing the busting in woke me up, so I was prepared for the 30-pound boulder that just landed on my chest. But Inara just adjusts herself and sort of wraps around the warmth, enjoying it, and settles back into sleep.
Yes, and then I think Plato's going to take whatever side Francis didn't take. Francis was sleeping at the front or the back. I think Plato just sleeps on whatever opposite side.
The coven of witch mothers from the eastern Luxoria region are gathered in a nearby empty space of desert very close to the groves and fields of the Beheaded Bachelor, and they are gathered in a large circle. The head witch mother, her veil off of her head, proudly displaying her Triton features, her scaly-like body glowing in the moonlight against the desert sand. As they dance, looking at each other and speaking to each other, as they fill this space with their dance, they yell to each other, not quietly, loudly. They take turns, sometimes yelling at the same time. All of it support loving statements. Your beauty drives me. Your ambition is aspirational. You hear them reaffirm each other and yell to each other how much they appreciate each other in all of these different phrases and terms and languages and idioms as they fill this space with their community and connection as they dance. At no point this circle breaking, but all of them dancing to their own song, a few of them humming, all of it kind of this cacophony. And as they do this, very slowly at first, and then more and more so, growing from the ground beneath them, we see bushels and bushels of pomegranates slowly rising, as for 8 hours they dance and dance, casting the plant growth spell, growing from this barren ground which once had nothing, a new field of fresh fruit on commission for the brothers of the Beheaded Bachelor. The witch mothers work tirelessly through the night, utilizing their magic of growth, positivity, and reaffirmation to grow a new garden, absolutely filled with fresh pomegranates.
Thank you so much for listening, and special thanks to Dustin Goddard for our theme music and to Julia Folkart for our cover art. You can find her Instagram in our bio. Please share our show with your friends and family this holiday season. Thanks again!